Now we are going to go to, this is page 10. So at the top, it is actually your page 4 that you got, the 7.3 dividing a polynomial by a monomial. And I'm just going to quickly do questions 5, 6, and 7 for people who wanted these. Find the width. So area here, they've given us. Area, remember, we know is length times width. They want the width. If I divided by length, then my equation would be, where am I going to write that? I'll just write it here. W is going to equal this, because those will cancel. Area over length. So that's what I'm going to do. Find the width. So width is going to equal area, which is 2d squared minus 4d over the length, 2d. Remember, in these, we made sure we divided each term by the denominator. So 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. D squared divided by d will be just d. And negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. D divided by d is just 1. So we won't write that. And there we go. B part. Same process. Let's do that. Maybe right here. So width is going to be 12x squared y plus 6x squared divided by 3x. And again, I'm thinking this 3x has to go into both parts. And why that is really is this was two fractions that had a common denominator. So 3x and 3x. So if we do first get a common denominator, add the numerator, so we did that, keep the denominator, and we would have just had that 1, right? But we can undo that, which is really what's happening in our mind. And now 4 x squared divided by x is x, y stays, plus 6 divided by 3 is 2, x squared divided by x is x. Okay, number 6. This will be the similar process as 5. So we're thinking in all of these, we are dividing into that fraction, or we're splitting it apart into two fractions and then simplifying really is what's happening in this. And we only did D part, and that was because I want you to see in this part, see here how we don't end up with that canceling out. That number, the 5, is still going to be on the bottom. And if we look at the answer for 6D, what has happened here to reduce this like it is if we look at this one, I could have written, I would have had here divided by the 3x, and then I could have thought divide each term by the same thing. So divide each term by 3. So if I divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and that's a little different than we've done because all the time, remember, we could only cancel if we had a multiply here. We did one on the top and one on the bottom. Here's what happens when you don't have a multiply. You have to divide every single term by whatever you're dividing by. So if I did that with the x, divide by x, divide by x, divide by x, then I'm left with 4xy plus 2x over just 1, which is what I got here. So let's do that on this example. If I look, what can I divide all of these numbers by? Nothing, because I don't have anything there at all, right? But I could divide the letters, maybe, let's look. I could divide by A, divide by A, divide by A, divide by A, yes. So that's what I'm going to do. Divide by A, divide by A, divide by A, divide by A. That leaves me with 24A minus 20B plus A all over negative 5. Okay, number 7, we did the whole thing. And 7 is interesting because if you take a look, you do have two things that are times together. This is a big thing, right? But it is one group. So like when we had, if this was 6, that's not a 6, 6x, and this was a heart, over 3x, I could divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by x, and I would just be left with 2 heart. So same idea. I have this big something. I'm not going to worry about it because I realize if I'm dividing 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, if I'm multiplying, then I can cancel something on the top, something on the bottom. So I could divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by x, divide by x. I can't divide this x because it's not really x, right? It's all of this stuff together. It's one group, like a heart. So if that helps, maybe make it into, there we go, there's the heart. Ta-da! Okay, and now let's see what we're left with. 2, the heart, so 5x plus 2 over 1. And if we look, did they expand that or not? And they did, so they kept going. And they did multiply that in, so 10x plus 4. Okay, B part, let's look. So B, I can see this is one big group of stuff. So it's times together, so it's like I have negative 2n heart over 2. And then I can divide by 2, divide by 2. Keep that negative. And I'll have negative n heart. Well, let's do that then. Divide by 2, divide by 2 gives me negative 1n, and heart is that stuff, 5n squared minus n plus 3. Wow, and that's squishy on your paper. Okay, pause, try C and D, see how you feel about that, and then start again and watch me. Okay, C part, I'm going to notice these are all times together, so these are identical. Lots of you saw that, and I can cancel that. That's perfect. Those will divide by each other and give us 1 there. Now here's the trick on this one. I can't get rid of this because they're separated with the negative sign. They are not multiplied together. So I need to come back and do like in 6, divide each term by the same thing all the way around and see if I can reduce that way. So I could divide everything by 2. So if I divide this by 2, I'm going to get 1r squared minus, divide by 2 is going to give me 2r over, divide by 2 is going to give me negative 2r. And now I could divide by r, divide by r, divide by r. So divide by r here is going to give me r minus 2 over, divide by r is going to give me negative 2. Hooray! Okay, D part, last one. these, I could put these together and then cancel, but if you remember from on the board, we could cancel a ton of things, and let's do that already. So if I divide this by 3, I'm going to have negative 1, divide by 3, 1. That's convenient because it's something that's multiplied together. Okay, now I'm looking. Is there a y that I can cancel? Not this guy because this is attached to that 6. That's like a heart. So anytime they have a plus or a minus, they are a group, a little heart. Okay, I can divide by y here though. Divide by y, divide by y. And now let's see what I have left. I've got 2 and the heart stuff, y minus 6 over negative 1. Well, 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. And remember, I can move this top or bottom. So same idea, if I just move it to the top, then I've got positive 1 on the bottom. And now probably, yeah, they moved this, they multiplied this 2 in. So negative 2 times y is negative 2y. Negative 2 times negative 6 is plus 12. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Redo any of those that you did not get the first time.